What is up, everybody? Keith, aka Guy 231. It is Saturday, September 3rd, and breaking down three games on the Nations League slate today. Hope you all are enjoying the slates and a return to classic soccer. Felt like all we got for a while was showdowns. It's been nice to have what I think is a more fun construction when we get classic. Whether it's harder or not, that's another debate. But let's just jump right into it. I am on borrowed time. If you hear my kid or see my kid make a guest appearance, welcome him to the soccer preview. He did decide to wake up a little bit early this morning, so throwing things off a little off schedule. Anyhow, let's jump into the odds and the slate. Hopefully get you on some good plays. Also, just a quick reminder, if you are really enjoying these videos, want to make sure they get to your feed and support what we're doing at FSI, hit that subscribe button bottom right. And if you want even more, you want full coverage of all the showdowns, all the classic slates, both on DraftKings and FanDuel, make sure to hit the link. You can join for as low as $10 a week. It gets you access to everything and really just a super active, fun chat room of all the guys and gals at FSI. All right, so really good. Today is going to be decided by studs, if you ask me. And really a lot of international slates are that way. But the last few, we haven't had the marquee names that we're having today. So, we have like Ronaldo, De Bruyne, Griezmann, Mbappe. You're not going to be able to play all these guys. Lukaku, you can't play them all. So you got to pick who is going to be the ones in your lineup. If you followed me, I'm always going to try to go with the best floors. Plus some goal scoring upside as well. So Portugal minus 103. That's going to be the Ronaldo decision in that game versus a Modric-less Croatia, and which is really big because if you remember, Croatia made that run to the World Cup final in large part due to Luka Modric, who also won the Ballon d'Or because of that. I think it was the Ballon d'Or. Anyhow, so no Luka is huge for them. Belgium plus 109 to Denmark. I'll just say I don't have a sportsbook account because I live in Florida, not legal yet. But if I was a betting man, that is a great odds for a Belgium team that I think may end up being the favorite to win the World Cup next time it comes around. And a Denmark team that I just don't rate that highly. So love that plus 109 for Belgium. Then France minus 113 to Sweden. Look, I'm going to go over this, but Griezmann's a hell of a play. You got to throw out your Barcelona bias over the last year of what you've seen there. This is where Griezmann is allowed to be Griezmann. Everything is centered around him. He's the playmaker, plays as kind of like a 10, but has free reign to do anything he wants. Most of the set pieces. So yeah, we love Antoine Griezmann here. Let's go over just some plays and just show you some predicted formations. So for Belgium, I think that, the player that you're going to want to click on right away is KDB over most sets. And, he actually gets to play a very advanced role for Belgium. So really like that as a floor play and probably a core play for me. Then really you're going to have to decide if, Lukaku or Hazard are a guy that you want. Doing so will make you forfeit Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's a tough thing to think about. But Thorgan Hazard at 5,100, I think it's a really nice play if he starts as a cheaper exposure to Belgium and also could even take a few sets. Then you have your fullbacks are fine and go from there. On the Denmark side of things, Christian Eriksen does everything for Denmark. Look, it's just going to depend on if you think Denmark can make this a game. I really do worry that they could get throttled here, so I don't think I'm going to be paying for Eriksen. But Monopoly sets, everything goes through him, and by far the best player on his side. Just you look up and down Denmark, and you're just very unimpressed by the talent level. You have some guys that are good players, right? Brun Larsen plays in big leagues. Martin Braithwaite, former Barcelona guy. Poulsen, we saw plays great for Leipzig. You have Robert Skav, Dalsgaard. But all these guys, you put them all together and you're just it's underwhelming compared to the talent that Belgium can throw out there. All right, let's go to Portugal versus Croatia. Let's just start with Portugal. And, I think there's actually going to be two big decisions here. Decision one, and the most important decision on slate is you're going to play Cristiano Ronaldo. We know with Portugal, everything is about Ronaldo, just like everywhere that Cristiano Ronaldo plays, everything's about him. But high volume shooter, obviously PKs, gets to play out wide, so he does get to do a crossing from here to there, but gets to do whatever he wants. Most expensive player on the slate, but depending on how you see the game going, if you think that Croatia is going to score multiple goals, Portugal's going to score multiple goals, you have to have Ronaldo. Then the other big decision is Bruno Fernandes. So I just wanted to say this. It's been a while since we've seen international teams play. We have no idea how much roles have changed. Like, that's the one thing that you have to keep in mind. Bruno looks way underpriced for Manchester United Bruno Fernandes, but he's probably right in range for Portugal Bruno Fernandes, who may not even be on any set pieces because Bernardo Silva almost always takes the in-swingers from the left, and typically when on the pitch, John Moutinho takes one from the right. So will Bruno jump on them? I guess that's what we're going to find out. But here's the thing. If he does start with João Moutinho, he should be playing more advanced position as João will sit deeper. So I do think just open play value alone, I think it's like 61 or 6,300. I think he is a fine play and should be super, super popular. Just understand if you're playing GPPs, that could be great leverage off of that on your builds. Also, just worth noting, Guerrero's taking some sets before. I don't think so with the likes of Moutinho, Fernandes, and Silva on the pitch. I wouldn't expect him to do that. But he does get forward a lot for Portugal when he plays for the national team. All right, Croatia side of things with no Modric. I would just tread carefully with Croatia. I think Vlasic should be on most sets. Ante Rebic was awesome at the end of the season in Serie A. He's also played well for Croatia. Perisic. I would just double check. Obviously, I wouldn't fully build around Perisic. I don't know if you're going to anyways, but most of the Bayern guys took off the Nations League. So it should be interesting if he is back in the fold. But anyhow, he is actually a really good player for Croatia. Went in, crosses a ton, a lot more than you saw for Bayern. And then Borna Barisic, there's an off chance he could be on some sets, but he is cheap at 3,700. Takes almost all of them for Rangers for his club, but cheap fullback here, so that is a fine play as well. All right, let's go to the final game, France versus Sweden. So, I already talked about Antoine Griezmann, but to me, he is the class play on the slate and the guy I'm going to be locking into all my lineups over most of the set pieces. And like I said, despite all the talent for France, everything goes through Griezmann. So I do really like that. Kylian Mbappe, should just note, he actually does take a few corners for France now and then. So if you don't play Ronaldo, maybe Kylian Mbappe is where you want to go for forward and just stack those two up and hope that France rocks Sweden. I will say this, Sweden is a good defensive team. So France, we have seen, possess the hell out of the ball, but struggle to score. Sometimes they've actually had to rely on like Olivier Giroud to come in and nick a goal. Hey, buddy. So anyhow, I'll say this. I think Olsen is in play. I think Olsen's very in play. Outside of Griezmann and Mbappe, I do struggle for my France options. If you want to look for a goal, Ben Yedder is fine. But Dubois and Mendy are a little expensive for full defenders, depending on how your roster construction is going to go. I think it's tough to get to them. Sweden side of things, I think Pierre Bingtenson may be one of the higher-owned players on the slates and higher stakes. Does share set pieces with Forsberg, and I think he's like 33 or 3,400. Fun little stat on Bingtenson. He did have a 27 cross game in league play for Copenhagen. So, a guy that definitely likes to sling in a cross, and that's what we love in DFS. Emil Forsberg should take a majority of sets when on. The interesting thing is Kulusevski, the Juventus guy. He had a phenomenal season in Serie A on loan. I think this might either be his debut or one of his first games, but he did take sets, so maybe he could take some from Forsberg or Bengtsson. We don't know that, but a good player. Again, I'm not going to be like super pumped to play Sweden players. France is a phenomenal defensive team, so I don't think that I'm by any means stacking up Sweden. Just if you want some last pieces in or some contrarian spots, that could be good. All right, guys, good luck. Glad I got through this. Think I'm a minute away from the kid deciding that I am done. Anyhow, good luck today, and we will catch you tomorrow. See you.